So now when we get into the question of, we've got branches or divisions, got branches, divisions, basically. Or let's rather concentrate our focus on branches. We've got branches, quite a few branches, and these branches are owned by me. I am a mega millionaire, and I have these branches located within the Kempton Park industrial area, and I've got a mega corporation where these branches are basically distributed. So the question now arises is that maybe I've got about 6 branches. Now the question arises, as I've got these 6 branches, will I now register these branches as one company, and they all have one registration so far as VETs, and they'd also be submitting 1201 form so far as submit? Would that be the situation, or would I be required to register all these branches like individually, and they'd all have their individual VET registrations? The scenario in this situation would then be dependent on a few factors. I will likely have to register the branches as one unit if, for starters, the branches are not separately identifiable from each other. They both pretty much do the same thing. 2, the branches have one big accounting system which is mutual to all of them in terms of the usage of it thereof. 3, the branches basically use the same recording processes for all of the transactions that they basically would process. Can you just start that over again? 1, every branch has its own identifiable accounting record system. 2, every branch has its own separate identifiable products that they basically are involved in. And 3, every branch has its own separate accounting system. So if we've got all of these 3 conditions which are very different from each other, then these branches can be separately identifiable from each other. They can all act as unique individual branches, and they all have their own unique accounting systems. In that situation, if we have like identifiable branches like that, then they can all have separate VAT registrations. So they can all be VAT. They can have VAT registrations which are only unique to the individual branches. So they'll each make submissions of their VAT 201 form, in their own individual basis, because they've got different accounting systems. They've got different recording systems, and they're differently identifiable. Therefore, in this instance, all of these guys can register as individual VAT vendors. So what would happen in a situation where branch A was to transact with branch B in this atmosphere? Let's say that maybe branch A makes oranges once again, and branch B makes bags, the packaging material for oranges. So in this instance, branch A needed the packaging material from branch B, which was $100. Therefore, branch uh, branch B we charge output VAT of 15% based on the 100 rands over 15% over 115 times 100. That would be the output. And of course, branch A would claim input of the same amount in terms of VAT. That would be the situation there. Because in these instances, both of these branches would be separate, companies. They have their own accounting records and so forth. So this is just an example to basically make you aware of that. Whereas, if in the second scenario, we have branches, but these branches, they have one big accounting system, they are located within one huge area, right? And they use the same recording system. Therefore, in this instance, these branches would be said to be one company. Therefore, even if they were to transact with each other, there would not be any VAT implications. Why? Because you cannot transact with yourself. It's like you're transacting with yourself. That is what you have to be very mindful of, so in that situation. So it would depend on the characteristics of what the branches are basically comprised of and what the underlying information basically entails you to be thinking about. And that's basically where we are in terms of branches. So we shall follow this up with some more situations.